morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. We're asking, with the recent plane crashes and the close calls on the runway, are you scared to fly? Now, let's start with you, Jess. Are you scared to fly?
Yeah, I'm scared to fly. You know, it's not that to the point that I won't do it, but I'm definitely frightened. You know what I mean? Like, since the whole DC collision, that has definitely had me a little frazzled. You know what I mean? But I was debating not even going to Super Bowl weekend, you know?
Wow. Yeah, I'm not scared to fly, but I'm definitely more aware of what's been going on. Like even me checking my surroundings is going to do something, but it just makes me feel better. But with all the recent crashes and the close calls, I still know that flying is the safest way to travel. I mean, when you're on that road, there's so many people, there's slick highways, there's people falling asleep, there's so many other obstacles. So I wouldn't say that I'm scared, but I'm definitely more aware. What about you, Charlamagne?
Well, you know, it's interesting, right? Because all I need to see is one thing happen one time in order for me to think it's gonna happen to me, good or bad. Right. I don't know if I'm scared though, and the reason I don't think I'm scared is because I just do math. You know, 45,000 flights happen in America a day, like just commercial flights. When we look at, you know, people use words like we say all of these or a lot of. It's only been 2 commercial flights that this has happened to, and the flight that happened in DC, that was the first time in what, 16 years or something like that?
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, and
but still, it's still scary though. Like,
I mean,
on that flight,
it is.
people...
But when you think about it in context, 45,000 commercial flights a day, and 2 commercial flights have had some mishaps.
Yeah, I get it. But that lady, think about the lady on that flight that texted her husband when she was on the way down. She was 7 minutes from landing.
That's the DC
flight.
Or
the plane. The plane that landed, it actually, I just seen the video, it actually landed and then flipped over. I've never heard of a plane flipping over. That just seems wild.
Well, they said it was the wind. I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? They landed in Toronto. Maybe they was listening to Drake and P&D's album, didn't really like it, and the plane couldn't take it, flipped over. Nobody died.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying, I just want people, let's just put things in context, people.
But even what you said, Envy, when you said, like, how that a plane is heavy as hell, how would a gust of wind flip a plane over? Like, well,
you're talking about an act of nature now. When God ready to flip some stuff over, he can flip stuff over.
But I'm saying, if it could flip a plane over, like, was there anything else damaged in that area? That's a plane, yo. Like,
I mean, that wind be
commercial flight.
That wind is taking trees out the ground nowadays. This wind ain't the wind we grew up on.
It's a different type of wind.
It's not. We talk about climate change and everything, but this wind is way stronger nowadays than it was back in the day. But I just want us to put things in perspective. When we're going around saying things like a lot and all of, it's been 2 commercial flights have had mishaps in 2025. 2.
Well, let's go to the phone lines.
Tell that to the flight attendants. Tell that to
the people that lost.
They know this.
Like, just. Yeah, but I'm just saying, just because you ain't scared don't mean you got to keep repeating. It's 45,000 flights.
Yeah,
like, okay,
you should
that's nice.
Put
that's
things
cool.
in context.
We get that. But at the same time,
we need to put, I understand what y'all saying.
Everybody died on a DC flight, nigga. Everybody died.
And that's horrible.
Like, yeah.
That is terrible. But I'm just saying, we got to put things in context because you still got to fly. I still got to fly. Everybody still got to fly. Yeah. 45,000 flights fly a day.
Yeah.
But I will say this before we go to the phone calls. It makes me really think about when those flight attendants be doing the whole security spiel and the whole safety spiel.
Yeah.
I don't be paying them no mind. But now I'm like, well, let me just double check. Because even with the seatbelt, I see a lot of people that don't even put their seatbelt on. But could you imagine those people upside down with no seatbelt on?
And I want to say one more thing, because you said this earlier, Envy, and it's true. Not only is flying still the safest way to fly, there's way more accidents on the road, but we ain't scared to drive every day.
No, I'm not, actually.
That's my point.
I'm not.
Because I think you feel like you have more control driving. Like you're driving yourself and you feel like you have more control. You can see what happens before.
I don't have more control over what everybody else doing.
Plane.
You know the things that scare me on the road is when you hear these accidents about, like, you're going through a light, like a green light, but somebody decided to run a red. Like that. Remember that incident that happened in California back in the day? That's the stuff I think about.
All right, well, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
Tiara from Long Island.
Hey, what's up, Long Island?
Bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup.
Oh, you at a bodega. I could tell.
Yeah. We scared because Elon Musk is playing with his little gizmos and gadget robot ass. We scared.
Yeah.
He's tapping in the systems and the aviation systems, doing stuff that he's not supposed to because he has the power to fly to space, and he needs to come back to Earth.
So you think it's Elon Musk playing with? You think he got a remote control?
And this is why we should deal with reality.
Yes, once Trump came in office, all of a sudden now we're seeing planes is crashing and booming everywhere. Why?
They're not crashing and booming and everywhere, though. This is why you got to deal with logic and reality.
Thank you, Mama.
He's talking
She
about
really believes that, though.
I know she does, and that's the problem.
Hello, who's this?
Hello, this is Nalisha.
Hey, good morning. We're talking about with the recent plane crashes. Are you scared to fly, Mama?
Oh, so I'm not scared to fly. And the reason being is because I actually work in the aviation industry.
Ooh.
So I see planes going off. Yeah, I see planes going off every day. Like, planes are still going off. I will say, though, I've noticed, like, people aren't mindful of when to travel. Like, people are just worried about getting to where they want to get to. They're not really being mindful of if you're flying to an area that has really bad weather, you know, sometimes it's okay to hold off a day or two before you want to get there or, you know, catch a flight there. A lot of people just come up to us like, we need to get home now. We need to get there now. Is there another flight? Like, they're not worried about their safety at all.
Can I ask you a question since you work in aviation? You know, they announced that hundreds of FAA employees were fired by the Trump administration. What does that mean exactly?
So FAA employees, I've heard about it, and what they're saying is basically so FAA is they're talking about air traffic controllers. Air traffic controllers, ATC, are the people that are in charge of, they're like basically police in the air that are in charge of the planes to let them know, okay, you can go off, you can land, or, all right, you got to go this way. They give them their route. They give them everything. Like, before you go off into the air, you have to contact air traffic control so they can give you a route to go to your destination. And they fired a bunch of those people. So they're kind of short-staffed in that area, and it is making it difficult for them because we need them. Like, all captains and planes and airlines need a lot of air traffic controls because they're the ones who control, especially when there's weather. Like, let's just say if it's snowing. Like, it's been snowing in Boston up north a lot, and they're canceling all flights. Like, yesterday, and between yesterday and the day before yesterday, at least 1,000 JetBlue flights were canceled going into Boston and coming out of Boston because it's like 2, 3, 4 feet of snow in Boston. So,
yeah,
like,
no, it was Boston. It was they canceled a lot of flights in Boston when I was coming back from my daughter's dance competition. People couldn't make it back. I drove back, but people couldn't make it back.
Yep. So they're in charge of helping us, making sure that we don't go into the air into bad weather, you know. And
so why would they fire? That's what I'm saying. Why would you fire hundreds of these people and not have a replacement for them?
Who
makes no
knows?
sense. Thank you, Mama.
That's so above my work, but yeah, I'm not afraid to fly. I just say be mindful of when you're flying. If you know there's going to be bad weather, just take a day or two and just wait.
Thank you, Mama. But I will say this.
problem.
I think we trust in them airlines to make those decisions for us, right? Because we don't know how bad it is. So, you know, we see snow, we see rain, we see wind, and we trust that those airlines will make the decision because they would know better than us, right? So if we get on that plane, we're thinking that they're making a decision that say, hey, we can fly you guys there safely.
Yeah,
so it's hard
they're
for
experts.
a person to do it, you know?
And then, but the crazy thing about it, that is when the airline canceled the flight, everybody mad. And then that's when you start trying to find other flights. That's what that lady was just saying. Like, maybe it's the reason that they canceling. Like, chill out, take that as a sign. But y'all go book other flights and find other ways to get there. You know what I mean? So.
Well, 800-585-1051. We're asking, are you scared to fly? Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're opening up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. Of course, there was a plane crash over the weekend in Toronto. Nobody died, thank God. The plane actually flipped upside down. So we're asking, with the recent plane crashes and close calls on the runway, are you scared to fly? Hello, who's this?
Hello?
Hey, what's your name, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man? New Jersey.
What's up, bro? We're asking, are you scared to fly?
Jason, man, calling from scared to fly. But every time I do get on the plane, it is very nerve-wracking. I'm not saying, I always just put that inside of God's hands. Most of the time, I just pray. And, hopefully we get this safe and come on, because when I get with loved ones that we get on these type of things, it's very home safe to our You get what I'm saying? So, when you get on, you got to really just be consequential and put that in God's hands mostly.
That is true, because I can't sit here and act like I'm any more concerned to fly than I was before all of this, because you're literally in a seat in the sky. Mm-hmm. And I'm the guy that'll get on the plane, especially on long flights, and give pilots Dunkin' Donut cards. And you know what I mean? Literally, I do stuff like that to the pilots because your life is in these people's hands.
Right.
So we're acting so concerned now, but when the last time you got off a plane and said, "Thank you, pilot, for getting us safely"?
All the time.
Shut up.
Hello, who's this?
I'm all the time.
What's the word? It's Hunter from the East Side.
Hey, what's up, bro? You scared to fly?
Now look, I ain't gonna lie. My first time flying was back in May of last year for my daughter's birthday. I was terrified. I was terrified.
Where'd you go?
I was sitting by the back of the wing. We went to Texas. They got that big Kalahari, the biggest Kalahari in the world.
Yep.
It was actually nice though. You feel me? But I sat by the window. That was my problem. And I was sitting like right behind the wing. I'm looking out the window. All I see is the wings flapping. I'm thinking final destination. I'm about to fly off.
You said the wing was flapping.
That is not what.
Yeah, that mother was moving, bro, like a bird. That mother was shaking.
You got on there high.
No, look, I was too sober. That was my problem.
Now, was it a Spirit flight? Their wings be faulty.
That mother was wobbling. But I'm trying to make it like a yearly thing for my daughter's birthday every year. Try to take a plane somewhere different just to show her something. She just turned 4 last year. She'll be 5 this year, so trying to make new memories with her.
I like that.
Thank you, brother. I will say this too. My dad was in the military, and he when he was in the military, he fixed planes and helicopters, and he will not fly.
Why?
My dad will not fly for. He don't like flying. He's scared of. He just does not fly. I don't know if it's something that he's seen in military or whatever. But he will not fly. And he was Vietnam War. He will not fly. 82 years old. He will drive to Florida. He will drive to Vegas. He will drive to California.
So he ain't never been out the country?
He has
Cruises?
been, but in the last 20, 30 cruises. Every year he'll get on a cruise, but he ain't flying.
Damn.
Hello, who's this? Hello, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Ernest.
Ernest, good morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Blessed, black, and highly favored, sir.
Are you scared
that's
to
what
fly,
I like
Ernest?
to hear, sir. I appreciate you. So in response
Are you
to
scared
your
to fly,
question
Ernest?
this morning, not at all, not at all. We got to understand these planes are man-made, and we just got to have faith in God. When it's our time, it's our time. And, if flying is your main mode of transportation, depending on your job, then that's what you got to do. It shouldn't have to worry anybody. I think Charlamagne said 45,000 flights a day and 2 incidents. I don't think there's too much to worry about. More than anything, I think these accidents should prove to the little orange dude that DEI is necessary.
Why is that?
Well, I'm assuming, based off of the stuff I read, these pilots were not, in fact, black or white. Or, excuse me, black or women, but that they were white male pilots.
I think in DC it was a woman. One of the pilots was a woman.
One of them was a woman? Well, then I was misinformed.
But I don't think none of that matters, though.
That don't matter. It's your qualifications when it comes to flying. The amount of classes you take, the amount of air time you have flying. I don't think that matters in this one.
Well, everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
All right. What's the moral of the story, if there is a moral, guys?
I don't know if there is a moral. I mean, I just think, like the woman said, who was the woman that called up and just said, just be cautious of the circumstances. Like, be cautious of the weather and things like that. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know.
And she's right. And she's right. How many times have a flight been delayed and you upset and you're like, I got to get another flight, instead of saying, you know what, this is a sign. Let me just fall back. And
sit your ass down.
Sometimes we just, like you said, just sit your ass down and just see what happens,
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.